Hey, what's up guys? Russell here, aka Nintendo Ninja from Instagram. So 2017 is done and dusted, and we've had a pretty good year as far as collectors are concerned, especially when it comes to Marvel Legends. Wave after wave of bangers. So without further ado, let's get into this top 10 and see who is our best figure for 2017. Let's get to it.
That's crispy.
Alright, so coming in at number 10 is the Tombstone figure from the Spider-Man Homecoming Vulture Wings Bath Wave. Now that is a mouthful. So yeah, this figure, I wasn't expected to be impressed by it, but when I got it in hand, it actually had a lot of fun factor to it. You know, he's a big menacing, bulking sort of bad guy, interesting head, well, interesting face really. But they've done a great job on that. He's got a really good expression and things like that. Good range of motion in the figure, all that sort of stuff. Would have been cool to have a suited body version of it, but you know, that's just a small gripe of mine. But you know, this would have been higher on the list had it maybe had, you know, alternate hands or an alternate head or something like that. You know, things like that. That's what sort of sets figures apart, is having alternate hands and heads. But yeah, let's move forward. Okay, so making this main into number 9 is the Sunfire figure from the X-Men Wave Warlock Builder figure. Didn't know a lot about the figure when it came, when the character when it came out, I should say. But you know, after doing some research and a bit of backtracking on stuff, and they really nailed this one. The paint apps are great. They've used a new body mold, which is the Spider-Man 2099 body mold, which is an awesome build for a figure. Great butterfly joints on it. Yeah, they really hit the mark with this one. So, and having the flame effects really sort of sets it apart. So yeah, that's the reason why it's come in at number 9. All right, so sliding into number 8 is the Kid Nova figure from the Titus Bath Wave, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, this is the team body mold from sort of last year's Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man, and yeah, I think they really did a great job with this figure. What really would have set it up higher on the mark is if you know, you had some alternate hands or an unmasked head maybe, or some effects pieces or something like that. That would have made all the difference. But you know, it's kids got fun factor, and he's a huge part of us being able to complete that all different Avengers lineup. So yeah, great addition to the team, and that's rounds for number 8. All right, slashing his way into number 7 is the Old Man Logan from the Warlock Builder figure wave. Lot of enjoyment out of this figure. Very cool figure. He got the sort of the more casual looking Wolverine. He's the relevant Wolverine at the moment. He's the one that we have in the comics at the moment. My gripe with the figure would be the claws weren't great on it. These ones are actually custom metal claws that I picked up from a guy down here in Australia. So alternate hands would have been nice, and yeah, other than that, it's a very solid figure. Alright, storming her way into number 6 is the Jane Foster Thor from the Gladiator Hulk Builder figure wave. Again, this is a really nice figure. They're really starting to get a better hold on the female figures for my liking. There are some articulation points that I wish they would just start giving us now, like double jointed elbows and the ab crunch, but other than that, this one is one that they really just got right. The accuracy to character is so on point, and yeah, just a nice addition again for our all new, all different Avengers. So it's great to see that we're actually going to be able to complete this team. So very happy to have this figure in the collection, and let's move on to the top 5. Alright, so busting in at number 5 is the Angela figure from the Titus Build-A-Figure wave. And while I don't know a lot about the character, I do know that as far as female legends go, this is one of the best ones I've ever seen. The sculpt on it, the paint details, it looks really, really nice in hand. The colours just pop, the way her hair is like windswept and things like that. They just made this figure look absolutely amazing. So if you haven't got it already, I would suggest you get this figure. Even if you're not a fan, it's a nice figure to have. Like, you can just see where Hasbro might actually be able to take their legends from here on out. So yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. So let's move up to number 4. Swinging in at number 4 is the Symbiote Spider-Man, or Black Suit Spider-Man, as some might call it, from the Sandman Build-A-Figure wave way back in January. If you have the first one that Hasbro released way back at the Ragged Hulk Build-A-Figure wave, you'll understand how much better and how much more fun factor this figure has compared to that one. It's on the Pizza Spidey body mold, which we are very well educated on now. It's a great mold for Spider-Man, and it works really well. It comes with alternate hands. The head sculpt is on point. The paintwork is clean. It's everything you want from a black suit Spider-Man figure. Hasbro really got this one right. Had they maybe put an unmasked head on it, it would have probably propelled it into the top 3. Alright, blasting into the top 3 is the Gimli Cyclops from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave. The anticipation on this figure was huge. The amount of times that customizers were making this figure for people, it's probably up there with Deadpool as one of the most customized characters prior to the Hasbro's official release. This figure probably would have gone close to the number 1 spot if he'd had, say, an unmasked head, which would have been a simple, just Matt Murdock head basically. Could have been easily done, and if the straps around the calves and legs were sort of more glued on instead of just sort of loosely put in place. Other than that, it's an awesome addition to our figure collections, and it's miles and miles ahead from the original one that Toy Biz gave us way back in the day. So let's move on to number 2. Okay, bursting in at number 2 is the Dark Phoenix from the Dark Phoenix 2-pack. This figure, holy crap. 3 alternate heads and the firing Phoenix is just insane. The fact that we got 3 alternate heads is like ridiculous. It's unheard of. I love the 3 versions, from sort of powered down to firing up to full-blown Phoenix is friggin' awesome. And the way that they've done her hair on the Dark Phoenix head, where it goes from the red through to the translucent, is just phenomenal. It looks absolutely amazing. Great paint apps. They really stepped it up from the version that we got last year with the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave. So hopefully things like this become more commonplace, but if it doesn't, I'm happy to have this figure. It's a great figure for the collection. So let's do a few honourable mentions before we hit number 1. Alright, so here are my honourable mentions for the top 10 of 2017. At the back we have the Sandman Build-A-Figure wave, which honestly was a great Build-A-Figure. It had alternate heads, alternate weapons for his arms. The biggest problem I had with it is what you're looking at right now. The fact that he didn't come with powered down arms was a real problem. You can't have him blasting sand 24/7. Sometimes you want him looking like he would normally look. So the fact they left out alternate arms is a bit of an issue for me. That's why he probably didn't make the list. Cosmic Spider-Man was a great figure. You can see how it pops on screen. It absolutely looks phenomenal. alternate heads. There's actually 3 alternate heads on that figure as well. The only reason it didn't make it is just probably simply because there's other figures in the list that are actually a little bit better. So, and the other one was Jessica Jones, which great figure in its own right, but you know, being a Netflix wave, I just didn't have the connection to it as I do with the comic book characters. But all in all, it was probably the best out of the figures that we got that are definitely Netflix, but possibly even out of all the MCU movie-based figures. So without further ado, let's see who busted in at number 1. So here it is, guys. The best figure for 2017, in my humble opinion, of course, is the Bullseye figure from the Netflix Wave Man-Thing Builder figure. I honestly didn't think Hasbro were going to be able to top the Toy Biz version of the Bullseye figure that we got way back in the day. That was a great figure and it still holds up to this day. But this figure is clean, so clean, and the body that they used, the Spider-Man 2099 body, which is the same body as the Sunfire figure, is just awesome. It's so poseable, it has so much range of motion. It comes with alternate heads, it comes with alternate hands, it's got guns, it's got knives, it's got everything. Aside from this figure in that wave, Jessica Jones being a decent figure, the rest of the wave is pretty lackluster, but this one just blew everything else away. It's such a great figure. If you don't have it, you really need to go get it because it is seriously that good. If you love the Toy Biz one, you'll love this one even more. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave me a comment below if you agree with me. Let me know. If you don't agree with me, tell me what your top 10 is. I'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks again. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2018. Peace.
That's crispy.